Okay, we've been to some of our farms, bush hogging some trails and stuff, evaluating our food plots. Some of the areas the beans have been getting hammered by the deer, which is a good thing. They're feeding in our food plots, which is what we intended them for. But the beans are not going to be tall enough that we either have to work them up or we overseed into them. So this is wheat and barley. It's what we're going to use. It's some cereal grain mixes. We're going to use that to overseed in the beans that are tall enough we don't want to tear them up. And on the other ones where they're short, we'll go in and tear them up and replant. Okay, we're back at this farm, and this year the beans are a little bit different. If you remember right, last year we were in here and the beans I had in my food plot were really hammered, very short. The reason being it was all corn around me. So all the deer were in here and just mowed the beans pretty well off. And we elected last year to come in here and till it up and plant a fall blend in here, and it worked really well. The tree stand site we had located in that back corner is actually where I shot the fork tine buck out of this food plot last year. Now this year is a different scenario because the farmers have beans all the way around me. And even though they do, this is a nice secluded hidden spot. The deer like to feed in here more. And as you can tell, this low area right here where they really browse these beans, you can see a lot of soil exposed in this area. So what I do in that circumstance is I come in and I use a broadcast spreader or a hand crank one. But I like to overseed cereal grains into these beans, whether it's oats, wheat, barley, rye grains, something like that, to fill in that area. I did that on probably 2/3 of this plot. Over against that far timber there, the beans are up, they've canopied in, there's not a lot of soil exposed. I'm just leaving those as beans. My stand site is right here behind the camera and at this end, so I'm trying to keep the deer hugging this side of the field as they feed. If they want the greens, I'll have the cereal grains in here. If they want the bean pods, we'll have beans in here. But when I'm evaluating these, just to give you an idea, if they're too short, no pods, no blooms on them, I work it completely up. If they're this tall and they got pods and they got some beans coming on them right now, I try to leave them, overseed into them. Or if they're a good stand of beans, I just let them go. So those are the three choices I use in planting food plots, evaluating them and seeing what I'm going to do to make them better for the fall. Okay, what I like to do on this farm is I got a blind set up here, and we usually bring kids and youth hunters in here, and I try to make this path across the bean field. I put some green product in there for the deer to funnel out of this opening from this cow pasture here going down in the bottom sanctuary, cross to the end of a pond to another sanctuary. So I take a rangefinder and hit that at 25 yards to make sure that, you know, when a deer comes through on that path with a youth hunter in there, we already know what the range is. But it tries to make it creating an edge, making the deer travel from one bedding source to another by the pond. It's worked out well over the years, so that's what I do, and put some green product in here with the beans for late season. It'll be good. So as you can see, we're wrapping up here on our fall food plots. We've evaluated our soybean fields. We're adding in some patches where it's thin, planting some green products to go along with the grains for this fall. The equipment I like to use is the Plot Master. I've used them for years, and I like it because just like in this river bottom ground, you can see it's compacted really heavy because it's river bottom. But 1 or 2 passes with aggressive pin back disc works it really good. I move it up to the next notch and use it for planting then. So 2-3 passes in maybe 30 minutes or so, we probably planted 1.5 acres or so right here. But anyway, I like it because it's got the disc blades, S-tines, they're aggressive to help rip it open. It's adjustable. Got your cedar boxes, got your drag screen, got a cultipacker, you got everything you need in one unit, and it's heavy enough to really aggressively work the ground open, as you can see here working it today. But like I say, it's a big river bottom. We're going to have some awesome hunting in here this fall. There's some good bucks on this farm. Possibly one we'll go after this year. So we're going to wrap it up now, get everything loaded up, get the equipment back to the shed, and then hopefully go around and locate a couple of them big velvet bucks tonight. The success on this farm or any other farm can hinge greatly by the success of the food plot. However, that's just one key ingredient. If you're looking for help on your farm, consistently holding deer and seeing deer more often, then look us up on Facebook, Instagram, or go to www.elitelandconsulting.com.